I know you're both a pair of losers. All the Paul family.
Happened to him when he survived, right? Like, did he hit his head? Did he hit his neck? Like, what is he okay? Like, is he 100%, or is he always gonna be a little fuck from that?
Not your enemies. They are your brothers and sisters under God. We all came from Adam and Eve. In the beginning, everybody on earth. Remember that. Spread love, not.
It's a chilling thought to realize that the distance between the highest peak of global fame and the deepest valley of human tragedy is sometimes only 10 days and a few thousand miles apart. One moment, you are standing under the neon lights of Miami, the undisputed center of the sporting universe, having just silenced one of the most polarizing figures in modern media. The next, you are crawling out a mangled Lexus SUV on a dusty stretch of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, the air thick with the smell of burnt rubber and the silence of friends who will never speak again. This is a harrowing reality facing Anthony Joshua right now, a man who has spent his career navigating the brutal physics of the boxing ring, only to be leveled by the cruel randomness of real life. As we step into this new year, let this story be the one that grounds us, reminding us that no matter the size of the bank account or the number of followers, we are all ultimately fragile. If you want to keep up with the stories that truly matter and join a community that looks beyond the headlines, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell.
Yeah, it was largely because he was mostly running away from AJ rather than standing toe-to-toe with him to fight. It's the difference between fighting a Bengal tiger and running away from a Bengal.
Let's start this new year together with focus on what's real. The world of boxing is no stranger to drama, but what has unfolded over the last few days transcends the sport entirely. It was only December 19th, 2025, when Anthony Joshua stepped into the ring to face Jake Paul in a spectacle that captured 33 million viewers on Netflix.
He's so big. He's so much bigger. So, of course, like, his punch that he knocks Tyron Woodley out cold with, Joshua just eats it.
Yeah.
Because he's a giant.
Yeah.
It was a collision of two worlds: the polished, traditional excellence of a former heavyweight champion and the chaotic, viral energy of the problem child. Joshua did what many expected, delivering a masterclass that ended with Paul's jaw broken in two places, and the British-Nigerian star's reputation as a top-tier powerhouse firmly restored.
I'm just so proud of him. My mom has me.
Your brother fought his ass off, man. I mean, other heavyweights have taken that right hand and only took one.
I'm just so proud of him. That was incredible. In my view, that was a victory on all fronts.
But the victory lap was tragically short. Seeking a moment of peace and a chance to reconnect with his roots, Joshua traveled to Nigeria to spend time with his family and his inner circle. He went there to celebrate a win. Instead, he found himself in the middle of a nightmare that has left the boxing community reeling and figures like Tyson Fury absolutely livid. The details emerging from the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway are the stuff of horror movies. Around 11 a.m. on a Monday that should have been a day of relaxation, the vehicle carrying Joshua, a Lexus SUV, was involved in a catastrophic collision with a stationary truck. Preliminary reports from Nigeria's Federal Road Safety Corps suggest a combination of excessive speed and a sudden tire burst during an overtaking maneuver. The images from the scene are haunting. The front of the SUV is almost unrecognizable, a mass of twisted metal that serves as a grim testament to the force of the impact. While Joshua, who was seated in the back, managed to escape with minor injuries, the cost of the accident was far higher. Two of his closest friends and integral team members, Cena Evolve Gammy and Latif Lat's Ideal, did not survive. To understand the weight of this loss, you have to understand who these men were. They weren't just employees or associates in the corporate sense. They were the pillars of Anthony Joshua's daily existence. Cena Gammy was the man responsible for the champion's physical conditioning, a strength coach whose expertise helped Joshua maintain the physique of a titan. Latif Ideal was a personal trainer and a healthy mindset guru who had been by AJ's side since long before the Olympic gold and the multi-million-dollar paychecks. Just hours before the crash, Joshua had shared videos of them playing table tennis, laughing and enjoying the simplicity of a homecoming. In the blink of an eye, that laughter was replaced by the cold reality of a morgue. The reaction from the boxing world has been a mixture of profound grief and sharp, unfiltered anger. Tyson Fury, never one to mince words, reportedly snapped when the topic of the Paul family's involvement and their general presence in the sport came up in the wake of this tragedy. while Jake Paul himself issued a surprisingly somber and respectful message, stating that life is much more important than boxing. The underlying tension remains. Fury's frustration stems from a deeper place, a disgust with the recklessness that often follows the influencer-era boxing. To Fury, the tragedy highlights the stark difference between the life and death stakes of real existence and the curated, often arrogant antics of the Paul brothers. He didn't hold back, essentially ripping into the entire Paul brand for what he perceives as a lack of respect for the gravity of the life these athletes lead. When you lose friends who are like brothers, the viral moments and the trash talk feel not just empty, but offensive. Joe Rogan also added his voice to the conversation, bringing up the technical and terrifying aspects of the survival itself. In a remark that sparked significant debate, Rogan pointed out the bonkers reality that Joshua might only be alive because he allegedly wasn't wearing a seatbelt at the moment of impact. A freak occurrence where being thrown or shifted in the cabin might have saved him from being crushed in the seat where he sat. It's a controversial take, but underscores the sheer what-if nature of the event. If the car had hit a few inches to the left, or if the speed had been slightly higher, the boxing world would be mourning its biggest star instead of just two of his closest allies. But beyond the physics of the crash and the boxing politics, there is the human toll. Gerald Miller and Chris Eubank Jr. have both spoken out, visibly shaken by the news. Miller, despite his past beefs with Joshua, admitted that seeing the footage was mentally draining. It forces perspective that the ring rarely provides. When you see a man you've traded insults with nearly lose his life, the rivalry evaporates. You realize that under the heavyweight champ, exterior is a son, a father, and a friend who is now heavy-hearted and full of emotions, as described by Lagos state officials. Joshua was seen visiting a funeral home shortly after his discharge, paying his final respects to Cena and Latz before their bodies were repatriated to the UK. The image of the champion, wincing in physical pain but clearly shattered by emotional trauma, is a wake-up call for everyone. This incident has also reignited the conversation around the Jake Paul curse, a dark internet theory that suggests misfortune follows those who step into the ring with the YouTuber. While logically absurd, the sheer number of coincidences, from Nate Robinson's health struggles to Ben Askren's pneumonia and now Joshua's fatal accident, has given the online community plenty of fuel. But for those actually involved, like Eddie Hearn and Johnny Nelson, there is no room for conspiracies. There is only the reality of supporting a man who has to find the appetite to fight again after seeing his brothers die. How do you return to a sport where you play at fighting when you've seen what actual destruction looks like? As we look at the wreckage of that Lexus in Nigeria, we see the fragility of the global star myth. Anthony Joshua is a man who can command millions of dollars and fill stadiums, but he couldn't control a burst tire on a highway. He couldn't protect the men who spent their lives protecting his health.